Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Yo, guys, you want to hear a funny joke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
To nuke Washington D.C.
Bingo. Let's go.
Bingo. That's a good one.
Welcome to the podcast.
You see, it's kind of interesting that you say that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I love Washington, D.C.
I love Washington. You know the video
I
of
love
Washington,
Washington.
D.C. getting nuked?
I sure do.
Yeah, we'll link it in the description below for our audience.
So you,
Yeah.
I think it's funny that the PNG explosions happen before
Oh,
the
I
nuke
think it's
actually hits the buildings.
Oh, I think it's a great one.
I think it's a
I
great
think it's a great video.
representation of what
You
would
see,
happen.
all over the comments, there's people saying like, "I sure hope this never happens." And, like, nukes
Mhm.
are quite the threat to our country, and I hope it does happen.
I hope
I,
it
th-
does
I
happen
think
too.
I think our country could utilize it. As a country, we should work together to make our next big accomplishment, and that
To
accomplishment
nuke
should be
Washington, D.C.
nuking Washington D.C.
To-
It's gonna be the next internet. It's gonna be the next Great Depression relievant.
Next.
It's the next.
Depression.
It's the next like
You ever heard of the
you know
Trail of
New Deal.
Tears?
It's the
That's
next
now
New Deal.
Washington, D.C.
Oh,
Yeah. Miss Reagan is gonna talk about it in her history class.
I can't wait. That's gonna be such a good discussion. And then
Hey
people
guys,
sign up for
welcome to the
groups.
discussion. My bias says that I don't think people should die from nuclear warfare. What do you guys think? Is that a fair point to make?
No.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Does that make sense to you all?
It's a very
And everyone's
vague
just like
description.
nodding their head.
Read the text in purple.
Read the text in purple.
Okay, Miss Reagan.
Today, we're going to utilize historical findings to understand. And then, like, understand is misspelled.
They should have an assignment where it's whoever nukes the place with the most casualties gets full points.
Huh?
What happens if you get like one less than full casualties?
Then you got one less point.
So
How many points are there?
Each
You could have
casualty is
one
one
city
point.
that you get 100% casualties, and then just go to like some really small city with a small bomb and still get more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, man. I think this is a really good plan.
I think San Diego is the first target.
San Diego.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think that we should I think we should
I
nuke
think she would blow.
Olympia, Washington.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that place.
I think it would benefit that place.
I think it would benefit us as a society and a country.
Because you look, Washington D.C. and Washington are different place. They're across the country.
Yeah.
So why?
That's
why
so
is there-
weird. Like, why
Why
would
have
we
both?
have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why have both?
So
One is better than two.
What if we just got rid of them both?
That's a great idea.
So we just don't have
Washington
any
wasn't even that
Washington.
good of a president.
Yeah, he
When
didn't even
he was
lead.
dying, right? Joe told me this today. When he was dying, the doctors were like, you know what would really help this guy? If we
What?
removed his blood.
Eat
Because
sand.
his
bad-
doctor So
Sorry.
his doctor was out of town and he was dying. And the spare doctor was like, we should really let go of some of your blood. And so he's like shriveling up a little and he's like, you know what? I actually feel worse. So they get a second doctor's opinion. You know what the doctor says?
Take more
Have we
blood.
tried draining this guy's blood yet? And so they continue doing it. And he's just shriveled up like a little raisin.
He is
Little
a
George
raisin.
Wash raisin, And
George Wash raisin.
the next thing that occurs is a third doctor.
Oh Lord.
A third
Oh,
doctor
Lord.
says we should drain him some more. And you see, he died.
You know
But-
how
What
bad
about
of a
here's the
person
fourth
this
thing.
guy
doctor
was,
comes in?
bro.
They're next like, you know what we should do to preserve his body? Put him in the attic where it's very cold and he will be frozen. Because it is winter time. And so they preserve his body up there. Like
For
you
a
know,
solid
a
month.
frozen piece of meat. And his normal doctor gets back home. And you know what he says to George Washington's wife?
What?
We should pump his body full of pig's blood to bring him back to life.
I think it
Now
probably
the
worked.
wife and replace
Yeah.
his heart with a pig's. Just to equal it out, you know.
Pig Washington.
I thought you
So
said
that's why
replace his heart
Washington
with a
is
pig.
not
There's a full pig.
so that's why Washington is not a valuable state
Not in the
or
least.
city for that matter.
Yeah. You know how bad this guy was?
Who?
George Washington, the guy in question.
Who's George Washington?
Wait, can
Pig
you tell me who
Washington,
he
sorry.
is?
Pig Washington.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Pig
So,
Washington, yeah.
his entire army that he
Yeah, I
was
know who you're
leading
talking about.
under
Yeah,
his
he always
rule.
Yeah, I
Sweating
think
like
I know
pig.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, always sweating like a pig Washington.
Yeah, like it's
You
like
know
Pig
him.
Washington.
Pig Washington.
Covered in grease and
Wait,
mud.
is that
And
who?
also dead
Is that
and
who
Always-
Washington
always
D.C.
in an
thinking about?
attic.
Always in the attic,
Always
frozen
in
to
the
death.
attic.
Shriveled like a raisin.
Shriveled like a raisin.
That's how you know it's him.
His entire army before he turned into a pig. His entire
There's a-
army got smallpox, and as
Oh,
they
yeah.
got smallpox, he was like,
I wrote
"Okay,
an
to
essay
make sure
about this.
nobody else gets smallpox, we're gonna give everyone smallpox before they
And it
join the army."
worked though.
It worked.
It somehow worked.
Yeah, it worked,
it-
but he still died.
I knew
Yeah,
there
he
was a
still
reason
died.
for inflation.
Inflation.
Raisin prices are rising.
Raisin. Ha!
Raising those prices. I get it.
Raisin
Hey.
those prices.
They're raisin, you know. Because it sounds like raising.
Yo, can you explain that joke?
Wait, I actually don't get it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
you see,
laughing because
Ryan
it
had
kinda
previously
sounds
said, random stuff for life. Famous YouTuber had previously said, the raisin prices are rated this to be was raising, as in a synonym to rising, was kind of similar in sound without the G at the end to raisin, as in the delicacy of a fruit that is
Steak.
dried out and shriveled, similar to George Washington after he was leached of all of his blood. Now, I made this pun and I said, they are raisin because it sounds like raising.
Oh,
Oh,
LOL.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. That's a good one. Can you
Top
tell
10
the joke
jokes
again
that
so
you must have a high IQ to understand.
I want to go through that joke again so I can laugh.
wait, I actually don't get it.
Yo, kind
I'm
of
not
like that
explaining it
raisin.
again.
I understand inflation. That's why inflation happens.
I understand every economic principle. I'm gonna go do some insider trading now.
Good night.
All right, good night, guys. Thanks for watching the podcast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
good night. Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow for episode 3.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right, good night.
Tomorrow.
Good night.
I think
fish
maybe
sandwich,
tomorrow we'll do episode
listeners.
3.
Good
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
fish
probably.
sandwiches.
Wait, Bryce, can you explain that joke again?
So
Yeah, can
you
you
see,
explain that joke?